So, you're back. It's nice to see you. I really enjoyed making my first video. It was my first time really getting deep into the editing, into the specification of being a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? Really vlogging everywhere and everything. I gotta get used to that. I'm becoming a lot more comfortable being in front of a camera, but enough about that. Today we are here to finish this wonderful piece. You're gonna be able to see it in a second. It's been a long time coming. I've been working on this for over a month now, and I am ready to wipe my hands with it because I want to move on. I would like to say I'm pretty poly when it comes to painting. I don't like sticking to one for too long. Please don't judge my relationship based off of that. But I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to start or finish another piece that I need to finish. Okay, listen, don't judge me. You've done it too. I know you started a piece and did not finish it, so don't even go there. But yeah, I'm ready to finish this. This shit is damn near done. And I wish I was in YouTube mode and vlogger mode when I started, so you guys could have seen the wonderful progression behind this piece, because I didn't think I was gonna get to this point. I was very nervous about this piece because I was so confident in the sketch, but as I started to paint, I'm like, bruh, the detail, the blending, the different colors, understanding the color zone, understanding texture, understanding all of that was a little crazy for me, I'm not gonna lie. But we're here. I took on another battle and I won, okay? Period. Because it's me against me. And I'm not finna play with me at the end of the day. But yeah, so we're gonna conquer the last little bit of this piece. You guys basically get to see it at its finishing point, which is really beautiful. You're gonna see me just do my tedious, minuscule touch-ups, and then we're gonna wrap this up and you're gonna watch me. Sounds good? Okay, let's go. So I have a pretty simple but precise way of setting up my palettes. That's what I'm doing right now. Let me know if you guys want to see a detailed video on how I do that. I have, as you can see, a pretty simple setup in my opinion. I have a video that's going to be coming out soon about all the tools and supplies that are necessary for my artistic practice that could possibly help other people. But getting into this piece, like I said, this is just me doing the last few bits of it. I wasn't really planning on being on YouTube as fast as I am at the time when I started it. So this is all I have for you guys. I didn't really record too much. I have some beginning stage pictures. I'll try to add that in here somewhere. But a little backstory about this painting. Prior to me even starting it, I wasn't painting for months. I was so occupied, I would like to say, with a whole bunch of other things, especially my fitness journey. And I wanted to master that. So I took time off from painting and I wasn't feeling inspired. I just didn't feel it at all. But this painting is somewhat of a resurrection piece. And if you know where I'm going with that, you can understand what that even means. For those who don't understand, in my head, a resurrection piece is the first piece that you do from a long hiatus from your craft. And a lot of artists, a lot of creatives, they have a bad relationship with the word hiatus when it comes to their craft. And I was like that for a while until I realized that a true artist is always looking at or walking through life artistically. And regardless if you are actively painting, actively creating, that your artistic eye is always watching. It's like a omnipresent source in your body. It's somewhat like a sponge, metaphorically a sponge, that as artists we dry out. We become overwhelmed or underwhelmed or understimulated or overstimulated, and we need a break from our own craft. And in my opinion, that is okay. I don't see anything wrong with that. Everything happens for a reason. And so I've noticed that on some of my breaks that I am learning a lot from an outside source: nature, books, videos, other creators, relationships, friendships, from myself. And I trust that process because I've noticed along the years of me painting that I've developed some kind of muscle memory when it comes to my work. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine actually, and I was telling him, epiphanizing with him about the general idea of muscle memory, that is this non-physical skill as well, that also relates to physical skill. And there's a time frame in when you're mastering or learning how to master something that it then becomes muscle memory. You no longer really have to reteach yourself the basic components or foundational skills of that skill or that craft. And so I feel like I got to that point when it came to painting. This to me is just simply the craft of mastery. I've taken my outlook on spirituality and definitely applied it to my process and my opinion of myself as an artist, and it helped so much. It helped make myself comfortable but force myself to grow. So yeah, this is what a resurrection piece is, and some of you may have it, you may not call it that, but that's what I call it. But let's get into the anatomy of this piece a little bit, because that was a whole nother, place of thinking behind this piece, because I didn't expect this piece to come out like this, at all. And I'm so proud of it. Once again, the fact that it was a resurrection piece, it was like the sketch itself, I was confident in, but there's layers to a piece, and this piece definitely had layers to me. It had so many elements that I had to learn and open my eyes for, to be vulnerable for. So as you can see right now, I'm using a fine line brush, and this was one of my best friends when it came to the last layer of the piece, making the hairs a little bit more realistic. I feel like I have a lot more work to do on that, but for the style of art that I do, I'm not a hyper realist. I like to include the element of showing that it is a painting. I don't necessarily want my pieces to look the most realistic. And so the way I implemented texture in this piece, I like it. Like I said, there are some things I want to fix and work on, but where I'm at right now, I'm content with and willing to watch myself grow progressively over time. What did I just say? Watch myself grow progressively over time. And so it's funny because the ears on this piece, I felt like was one of the hardest. And a few people that seen it was like admiring that the most, talked about it the most, and it was not my favorite. I just felt like I couldn't get it to look realistic, and you know, that's my critic in my head. My favorite part was actually the eyes, and it's so funny because that's the part that I started with, and that's what gave me the confidence to see through this piece, because I did not have the confidence that I wanted at first. I was just like, yo, this is a lot now that I'm looking at it. But it was a challenge I was willing to take on, because I don't necessarily paint animals often. I'm more of a people person when it comes to my portrait work, and so I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see myself grow in another direction, and I'm looking forward to painting a lot more animals soon, just so that I can have this universal outlook and be able to have that under my belt as an artist, and be able to say, yeah, I painted that, and I painted that. So yeah, I've officially painted the leopard, and I'm proud of it. Another thing that I wanted to point out was the background. I think I'm working on that right now, but the background, as you can see, is vignette style, and I've been using this background style for a while. If you're familiar with my art, you'll see that I do a light interior, dark exterior border type of feel. And at first it wasn't intentional, but a friend of mine asked, like, why do I do that? And I was like, I like the idea of a subject, like, really standing out. I'm the type to, like, want to study something. And I feel like every time I do that, it's allowing me to focus on the subject and really make them stand out and look beautiful. And the background is just simple, and it allows this like studio feel. Eventually I want to get into landscape work and doing more detailed backgrounds. But for now, I'm okay with this. I like just the idea of having a subject, you know? Another thing, because we don't have much time left, but for the hair, this is just a little tip or hack, right? So there's a lot of white hairs on this painting, the fine hairs, the fur, and there's some hairs that have to overlay the background. And as you can see, the fur, the whiskers are white, and the background is like cream, not too far off in color. And I decided to use a gray color to darken the whiskers that are layering on top of the background, so that the whiskers still stand out. Because if I just used white, it would have just been too much blended into the background, and I wanted them to stand out. So yeah, that's a cool tip. I didn't do gray the whole whisker. I would just blend. I would put gray at the part that's layered on top of the background, and then blend it into white going towards the face. And it worked. It worked. It gives like a little shadow kind of vibe. So going back a little bit about this piece, like I said, I wasn't painting for months, and even after I sketched it, it stayed a sketch for a while, a few weeks. And I tend to look at that as a meditative state of my process, where I just sit with a sketch and I look at it and get my mind and my body prepared. And I'm telling you guys, it's okay if those are things that you have to do to get yourself ready. Find comfort before anything. I know there are methods and techniques that are taught in universities and art schools, but I'm a self-taught artist, autodidact for the most part in anything that I do. And so I like to make up techniques or adopt techniques that make me comfortable and make me not treat my craft too much as a job, because then you start to lose the passion. And that's something that I feel like I'm growing more than losing. There was one point, especially during COVID, where I lost my passion because I was doing so many commissions and it felt like work, and I just wasn't connecting to myself with my art. And yeah, but I'm loving what I'm doing. And this piece was definitely a reminder to me about what I'm doing and to keep going, because I broke my own barriers with this piece, and I plan on doing that a lot more. I plan to keep impressing myself and showing myself that I have a lot more in store, because I know I do, but sometimes we need the time to prove that to ourselves so that we're always in touch with that part, that we're never going to stop growing, and that there's always something new to learn, and there's always room for growth. And art has taught me that a lot. If you're watching this, comment what your art has taught you, what your art has proven to you, whether you're a painter, musician, sketch artist, anything. What has your craft proven to you about yourself? That's a huge self-reflection as an artist. And if it hasn't, what would you like for it to show you? But here we are done. And I'm gonna cue myself in a few seconds, but yeah, there we go. Thanks for talking with me. Okay, there we have it. We are done. We are done with this piece officially. The only thing left to do, is sign it, and do the border of the canvas, backing, and prepare him to be sold. I'm super excited that I'm finally done. That was fun. Excited to finally finish and work on my next piece. I actually have to finish another piece, so I'll probably be doing a similar video. The other piece has a lot more work to be done on, and it's way bigger, so we're gonna switch it up next video. Make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. If you're a friend of mine and you're watching it, thank you. If you're family and you're watching this, thank you. If you're new and you're watching this, thank you. Thank you to everybody watching. To many more, and to more artistic endeavors. I'm excited. Peace out.